You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And yeah. So anyway, you know what? Let's go to a song because I find myself starting
We're
to
getting pulled in
spew.
here.
I'm starting to spew bile and let my bitterness shine through. So here's Danny
All
Lage
right.
with a song called "Smile on Face."
Danny Lash.
It's always good to play a Danny Lage song, especially when I'm starting to spew bile. That was Danny Lage with "Smile on Face."
So yeah, so where we started, and I was talking to these anti-voting occupiers. The only thing that I could really say to kind of put it in context is, okay, I understand you're saying the world is moving to a time when voting may not matter, but I think if you were a rock and roll band, you built your t-shirt before you even made a song. We're not there yet, and we have to keep working with all of the tools we have with us,
Exactly.
which include voting.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, do your
so
direct action. I don't know. do your direct action, wear your little A with a circle around it on your backpack, but still vote, still get after your politicians, still try to shape their approach to doing their sweet ass job. You know what I mean? They sit around, for the most part, they sit and do nothing and vote here and there, and go to lunch on Parliament Hill, and that's what they do. It's a sweet ass job. They delegate all the rest of their job, you know what I mean, to their office assistants, etc. They show up, blah blah blah. It's a bunch of photo ops and sitting around in Parliament Hill, texting each other and voting once in a while. It's just like, come on, it's a simple job. It's nothing. It's like, it should almost, like, they don't have anything to do except for figure out what their constituents want them to do and then do that. That's why, in my opinion, the party has always been a perversion of the democratic ideal. Because you can vote, like, if your representative goes to, like, right now I have Jay Aspin as my MP. He's a conservative. He goes to Ottawa, does not do what anybody in Nipissing wants him to do. He does exactly what Stephen Harper tells him to do. Okay, and we didn't vote for Stephen Harper. We voted for Jay Aspin here in Nipissing. So we don't have a representative, because he's not at all responsive to our democratic will, right? Exactly. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't threaten his sweet ass job for next time. Now, our guy's probably not going to go again, but there's a lot of people out there, like I kind of hinted at before. This is a real sweet job for them. They probably want to hang on to it. So get after them and try to influence them.
If all the people who have problems with politics and the political system stop voting and leave it to the people who have no problems with the political system, we're asking for a bigger nightmare.
Yeah,
we really are. That's the easiest way to say it, because there are people out there who will continue to vote and actually think there's absolutely nothing wrong with our system, and I disagree with that too. Well, that is obviously not the
system.
truth.
The system is designed to propagate the status quo, Mike. The system is absolutely designed to propagate the status quo, and that's one of the reasons that it's so great for the Conservatives to have a $1,200 maximum individual bid. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I can't give the party of my choice $1,200. I don't have it, really. No. I mean, or if I did, it would kind of hurt something else. You know what I mean? Probably really dent my party fund. You know what I mean? And that's not negotiable. You know
exactly.
What I mean? So, like, there's money that controls politicians, and there's also votes. Make it so that it's more difficult for people to buy votes with money, you know? And I don't care if the person that has $1,200 to give to the Conservative Party wants to vote for them, great. But that person's $1,200 buys the votes of stupid, complacent people. You know what I mean? Like Skeeter from down Bonfield way, that his only voting issue was the long gun registry. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, all right, Skeeter. Well, you know, that's not the only vote. It may be the only vote you understand. You know what I mean? And on Hockey Night in Canada, I'm sure that the attack ads that Harper was running was against those MPs that flip flopped on their vote on the long gun registry or something like that. You know what I mean? There was lots of that. Yes. But I know that we had a great MP in Nipissing here. And we have a lot of rural outlying areas where, you know, rednecks shoot critters. That's what they do. They go out in the back 40 and they shoot furry stuff, and they bring it in and fucking chew on meaty pellets. You know what I mean? And sorry, Skeeter from down Bonfield way. I'm stereotyping a whole bunch of people here, but our election here in Nipissing was tilted on that issue. Okay. And it's just, it boggled my mind and pissed me off to no end that we lost a really fantastic MP that actually did the job, did great work in committee, representing the values of ordinary people. Okay, because committee is where, if any work's going to get done, it's on committee. And our guy was the leader of the Liberal caucus, and I watch C-SPAN. I'm a nerd like that, and I was proud to see my MP Anthony Rota doing fantastic work in committee. And the viewpoints that he seemed to espouse and the votes he seemed to cast represented, though more closely, the values and concerns of ordinary people than, say, our current MP, Jay Aspin, would. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
just really quickly here, the one thing that keeps coming to my mind is the way that Harper approaches politics really makes it easy for him to take these issues and really only present them in certain light by stifling debate in Parliament, and then at the same time using wedge issues. So if we look at the Libya issue where NDP supported Libya, or the opposition parties opposing Harper's gun registry dismantling, if you can't debate the issues, you can't actually bring your points forward, and there is no dialogue, and therefore you have to fear that you're going to get trapped by a wedge issue that's
exactly. So what happens here we have a majority government, okay? So because it's a majority government, I care not about parliamentary debate other than as a stalling tactic. The more you can stall one piece of legislation, the less evil legislation that they get to pass, right? That's the only purpose of debate, because quite frankly, the average Canadian that is going to vote for Stephen Harper doesn't watch parliamentary debate.
No.
His viewpoint is formed by the attack ads that he sees during his favorite dumbass TV show.
But this makes me think. This is where I think we have to kind of focus our energy right now as progressives. We aren't going to, we can talk to other progressives, and hopefully those anti-voting progressives start to vote too. But also we have to look and see who else voted for the Conservatives. And there are two distinct people that can be identified, that you can talk to them on a number of issues that might actually get them to start rethinking why they would support Stephen Harper. There's the first group are traditional economic conservatives, those people who want fiscal responsibility. They're not so concerned about the social conservatism that we're going to start to see. We talked about that at the beginning of the show, that we're going to start to see come out from the Harper Conservatives. And then the second group are these red Tories and former Liberal supporters who found it really easy to flop over and vote for Stephen Harper. So the two different angles that I think that we can talk to these people on are, we talk to the red Tories and former Liberal supporters on Stephen Harper's contempt for democracy and the rule of law. How many times is this man and his party going to be able to wipe his ass with democratic principles and the rule of law? He gets away with it time and time again.
Because here's my point, Mike. The media lets him away with it. For what I was leading to by saying I don't care about the parliamentary debate except for as a stalling tactic, I think the media is asleep at the wheel, okay? Everyone knows if you turn on Sun TV, you're just going to get like the conservative talking points with a little bit more, shittiness and prejudice wrapped around it. You know what I mean? Sun TV, I watched that for a total of 90 seconds. I turned it on randomly, and it was some guy named Brian Lilly gay bashing, accusing Dalton McGuinty of promoting homosexuality to 6-year-olds. You know what I mean? And it was like encouraging homosexuality to 6-year-olds. And I was like, wow, okay, turn that off. Now we know what we're getting on Sun TV. If you're watching that, you're already too far gone to be reached. Don't worry about those people. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Don't worry about those people. Worry about the decent people that have been outsmarted. Okay, so let's say if you go to your job, you're working construction, and you're sitting around the lunch table, and you know the guy sitting next to you gets his viewpoint from attack ads he sees during Hockey Night in Canada. But you read the paper. You go to alternative news sites. You go to rabble.ca and you get some real information. You know what I mean?